talking. I don't mind me. You hear me, Mama? All right. What's going on, guys? Random Thursday draw stream. I am trying to make up for a drawing that I sold on Etsy that I have misplaced. So I had to break out this recent sketch cover that I bought for Batman number 13. And I am going to ask the person who bought the other sketch that I had up on Etsy to be content with getting this Batman on an actual sketch cover. The one that they bought on Etsy was like a mock-up sketch cover that I did that I kind of created on Photoshop. It was not an actual sketch cover. So this will be a more legit sketch cover. And so I'm hoping that they don't mind that I'm going to swap them out. A fakey mock one for a legit one, even though it is not the one that I had posted on Etsy. So I have until Monday to send it off to them. And I have been looking high and low, honestly, in my office for the sketch, and I have not been able to find it. So I just broke down, and I did buy this sketch cover in the hopes to maybe do a Absolute Batman draw stream on Sunday, but that's not gonna be available because I'm hoping that that Etsy customer will accept this in its place. So this is pretty much all I need to start the ink process. I don't know if it'll, I don't know what it's gonna turn out like, but I'm getting pretty close to enough that I can trust that when I put on the inks, it's gonna go fairly well. So I don't know if you guys are fans of Absolute Batman. I've been a fan right from the beginning, right from the first time I laid eyes on the cover for issue number 1. Brother Fong in the house. How you doing? Staying out of politics. That kind of blew up, right? Trying to stay out of politics. Trying to stay out of it. But this was something that I grabbed 2 weeks ago. This was before all the Daniel Warren Johnson controversy. So I'm not, this has nothing to do with whether or not I support Absolute Batman moving forward. Which, if you watch my channel on a Sunday, when I do my Sunday night draw streams, I have already talked about giving up on Absolute Batman just because of the level of violence, and then especially with this issue of Absolute Batman in issue number 13 here, with the introduction of Catwoman. I mean, it gets pretty explicit in what they show when they get down and dirty. So it was a little bit more than I feel comfortable with, and I feel like it's just going to escalate. So I am going to move forward here. I see people's feet. You see that? A virus says, I see people's feet. And then Kuda says, when are you going to color them? I'm not planning on coloring them. It actually wouldn't be too hard. There's not much to Absolute Batman. So really just black and really dark gray and kind of light gray, like a bluish light gray. I mean, I probably could. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Although I do feel bad that the picture that I sold on Etsy will not be the one that I send to the customer. I actually think this looks better. The pose looks better. You actually get the comic book, whereas the item on Etsy was just me using a mock-up of a sketch cover for Absolute Batman #1. So he won't get the #1 numbering up there in the corner, but he will be getting an actual comic book. So trying to stay non-political. So I guess, Fung, you saw my comment over on Thinking Critical's video. Do you want to get into the weeds on that? I mean, other than what I've said on there, and there's not much more to say. It's unfortunate that people put their politics into our comics. Not looking for a lecture when it comes to these intellectual properties. You know, these are not our properties. They belong to kind of the collective of fans out there. And so even when you do it for a commission, maybe it's one thing you do it for a commission and it just kind of lives in that person's house, in that person's portfolio, on that person's social media feeds or whatever. But for you yourself as a creator who has the opportunity to draw some of our favorite characters, to use that as a platform to kind of express your political views I think it's not good. I don't know how else to say it. It's just kind of selfish, honestly. Maybe that's the best way to express it. Like you're hijacking our favorite characters and kind of expressing your views about it. I mean, an argument can be made that it's always been that way, where people use comics to kind of move the needle on social issues. And maybe it's not that unusual. But we can agree or disagree, and then the consequence will be that people who are unhappy with the use of comics as a political platform will be punished in the way of low sales and not having the opportunity to draw those characters anymore. So, just a thought. The way I see it, Absolute Batman isn't the real Batman anyways. I'd probably have issues if Daniel Warren Johnson did the sketch with the real Batman. So it's one thing, well, he is going to be on the real Absolute Batman, I think, for the annual. But I guess maybe you're saying that he's not on the regular mainstream Batman. Is that the difference that you're making? That it's not the actual mainline Batman, so it's not as impactful. But I think there's so many iterations of Batman that people accept that just because he's not on like Detective or the adjectiveless Batman, that that it's, you know, okay for uh, a Batman artist to express his views that way. I mean, if he had his own character and did that, I think it'd be fine. You know, that'd be his own take on it. But just tis what it is, I guess. I guess the fallout will be the fallout if there is any. Daniel Warren Johnson is pretty popular, so I don't know how many people will care. But it's like an unforced error, you know, a lot of those things. And if the the DC and Marvel don't care, it's and they can deal with the consequences of people who don't like their favorite characters used as a political platform. They can decide how much that impacts the sales and the popularity and who stays and goes. You know, maybe they don't care. But that is the politics of it. Let me see. Let me see. There's a lot of comic book creators who I don't share the same political beliefs with. It is what it is. I agree. I agree. I'm blessed that we align, though. I enjoy giving you my money whenever my wife lets me. Very funny. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Fong. I appreciate the support. All the money goes back to creating more Alpha Red. So, and the original sketch of Batman that was purchased on Etsy was just a copy of a sketch cover. So they are getting an upgrade in my opinion. But yeah, no, it's nice to align values, and I pick up plenty of books from people whose values I don't align with, and I got the feeling that Daniel Warren Johnson was more on the political left, and I didn't care, but for him to express using the platform that he has, I think is where I disagree and turns me off enough to just not support the thing, even though I recognize that he is a talented creator. I don't necessarily want to support someone who is irresponsible with the opportunities that they are given. I know it sounds all highbrow or whatever, but it's just my take on it. And this is obviously not my normal drawing spot, so I'm doing this one-handed. So hopefully this is not, hopefully it doesn't suffer because I'm using this one-handed. So I did do the sketch. It is not an original pose. So if you look up Colossus Joe Mad, that's what I did, and you'll find this pose drawn by Joe Madureira of Colossus fighting the Brood. But I think it's going to turn out pretty good. Obviously, Joe Madureira has, if you follow the channel, I do like his artwork. It does inspire me, and he's another one. I'm sure that his politics are not what mine are, but I can appreciate that he's not out there drawing pictures that really show the difference between our political views. So just keep your mouth shut and do the work. You can express your views maybe in your personal time, and I can still appreciate your talent. I'll still buy it, you know. But yeah. Let me see. Brother Benny. Amen to that, phone. Amen to that. Benny also a big supporter of all things on the Alpha Red comic channel. Fong says, by the way, I caught your son's Hustle episode. I saw your cameo. Did you see that? Do you see that? I am now forever known as Caleb's dad. Caleb's dad. So when he's raking in his millions, I will be known as Caleb's dad. There's a lot of people who have reached out and not reached out, but like when I meet them, they are very excited to meet the father of Caleb. He's a very unusual young man. He makes an impression. So it's definitely fun to kind of watch him spread his wings, because he spreads his wings wider than most. And when I say wider than most, I'm not just talking about other 20-year-olds. I'm talking wider than most. I'm 50. He swings he spreads his wings much wider than me even. So. But yeah, it's fun to watch him grow and make mistakes. He makes plenty of mistakes. Trust me. But it's about figuring out how to get where you want to go with no roadmap, and that's what he does, and he does it very well. And that's so fun to watch. I don't know if you guys can. Am I holding the camera right? I'm trying. I can't look into the screen and do it. So if it's not centered, I apologize. And I am sitting in the middle of my living room. So if you're hearing other voices, this is how my typical drawing night goes. Let me see if I'm missing anything. So Funk says, too bad they didn't ask him. So what's your dad do? They don't want to know. He draws comic books. I don't know if he would say that, or if he would go right into he sells insurance. He's an insurance salesman. Boo. We hate insurance salesmen. Too funny. Yeah, no, it's definitely focused on the kid. They don't they don't try to get too deep into how how they got there. I think they're really trying to inspire other young entrepreneurs to just kind of do their own thing. I don't want to I don't want to smudge, although it feels like these pens aren't giving me as much love as they typically do. But I'm also typically using two hands. So let me see. Sells comic books and he sells insurance because he can't make enough money drawing comics. He must sell the insurance. He must. He must. He must. It's not turning out too bad. What do you guys think? One-handed. One-handed. After I get the lines in over here, I think I don't have the thicker one. This is the V5. So this is the smaller pen, and so I know where there is a V7, which is the bigger one, and that gives out a little bit more ink and gives it more contrast, but it is all the way up in my office in the studio on the third floor. So I cannot just up and run up and get it. Hong says, when I make my millions, he'll be able to draw comic books full time. That would be cool. That would be cool. He would probably allow me to do that too. He's a great kid. Great kid. Yeah, we're obviously super proud of his attitude, his accomplishments. He just landed a really big deal for plowing this winter. It's a $75,000 contract, so that's a pretty big deal. And he's only 20, so he's probably bidding against guys who've been plowing and doing this stuff for years, decades maybe. And this young whippersnapper comes in and promises them the moon and delivers. So that's really what it comes down to, the delivery. The delivery. All right, let's see. See if we can't. So I was watching someone do their closeout stream, and I don't want to talk too directly about him because his campaign did not make it, but he stayed so positive. I was super impressed. He scheduled a closeout stream that lasted like 2.5 hours. Yikes. 2.5 hours, and true to his word, he showed up. He didn't stay the whole 2.5 hours because he started losing his voice, and I don't think he even hit a quarter of the way, but I was super impressed. Super impressed that he stuck it out and stayed positive the whole time. When you don't make your goal, it is a very sad day. Very, very sad. But you live and learn. Live and learn. Live and learn. All right, let me see what we got as far as other inking material here. We got some brush pens. Let's do this guy. This guy has a pretty stiff tip, so the line weight doesn't vary as much. So let me see if I can. So you have much more control if you have a stiffer tip. It doesn't give you a whole lot of variation when you push down. So let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll be the fourth finger there. All right. We'll make this guy go in there. It'll be really dark and nobody will see. Nobody's counting fingers. Nobody's counting fingers. So are you guys into Absolute Batman? Yay, nay? Are you going to stick with it? I'm going to stick out one more issue of Absolute Batman just because I do think the writing is good. It's just it's so graphic and violent. And they added a layer of naughtiness to it and really made it not just rated R for violence, but also rated R for the sexual content is what it felt like. Just feels like it's escalating. So I will finish out the Bane storyline that's pretty good. I mean, there was a snoozer in there. A little too long-winded about his past. And that was really the one that got me. Because it was so violent. On a level that I was not expecting or am used to. Brother Ernest in the house. Let me see. First, Funk says, Ancients was able to get fully funded. Went over by 10,000. I saw that. And I didn't think that Howard was going to make it. It seemed like it was pretty close to the end there where he wasn't going to make it. But I don't know if somebody stepped in. Sometimes people do that. They see, they're waiting for the ending. And he might have even done it himself. Like, I know that sometimes I will use my own money to make up the rest of it because I'm like 80 or 90% there. And if I am in danger of not actually making it all the way, I will step in and I have, I have a dummy account that I will go in and make the campaign successful so that I can capture the support that was already given. And that way I can use that towards the goal. But yeah, I did see that he made it. So good on him. Good on him. Yeah, you wouldn't put it over by 10,000. Yeah, you wouldn't put it over by 10,000 because a lot of the fees are percentage based. So if you're doing it yourself, if you're going in there just kind of saving your too much starter for that. Brother Ernest says, "What's going on, everybody? Looking good, James. I appreciate it, Ernest. Thank you so much." Funk says, Howard told me he made a lot of phone calls and people came through. Yeah, sometimes people don't know that your campaign is going on. You set it like on, and you're on social media all over the place, and you're like trying to get the word out, and you know nobody seems to be supporting. And then you start making phone calls, and boom, like people are like, "Of course I'll support you." That happened with I don't know if it was Alpharetta number 5 or 6. I want to say it was number 5, where it didn't look like it was going to make it. It was going to miss by like $1,000, I want to say. And it was like, so I started reaching out to people on Facebook. I didn't make any phone calls, but I definitely reached out to more people on Facebook, and people were like, "Oh yeah, for sure. I had no idea that your campaign was going on," and it was like unstoppable. It felt like I went from like $800 or $900 down to like $700 over. It was like nuts. It just wouldn't stop. People just kept pledging right to the end, and I was just like, "That's crazy." It felt so great when people stepped up and supported. So very, very cool. Ryan, what's going on? Good pose. This is actually a Joe Madureira pose, Ryan. Lever Comics. So this was a Colossus pose by Mr. Joe Madureira, a super, super old one. Like I didn't even recognize it as a Joe Madureira drawing, to be honest with you, because I'm so used to his current stuff, his Battle Chasers on up. It was I don't know, it was Colossus fighting the Brood. So it had the right energy. So that's what I do when I draw. I don't know if it's cheating or whatever. I just feel like I need that energy from my favorite artists, you know, like who does a good whatever. And because Absolute Batman is so huge, I just thought I can't think of anyone who moves like I didn't want him to be like the Incredible Hulk. He's not that big, but at the same time, I wanted him a little bit more exaggerated, obviously. Let's go. All right, so this is the middle firm tip. This has a little bit more give, so I have to be a little bit more careful when I put pressure down. But I like that it gives you a bunch of ink when you push down. That's the whole idea, anyway. Came through, good pose. And it says James got some skills, holding on to a phone, talking and chatting and drawing at the same time. It does feel like something that not many people can do. It's a little precarious, but when I'm drawing, it's really so it's so second nature that it's actually harder to talk. The talking part is actually the hard part, and I don't know that I'd be any better if I wasn't drawing. It's just kind of the drawing part is I could be talking on a conference call talking about insurance, and I can peek up and look at someone's policy, talk to them about their policy, and still be drawing. So if it feels like I have a lot of output, like I'm drawing a lot, it's because I can draw and talk. Now, sitting here holding a phone camera pointed in the correct direction, that's some trickiness. I just look up every now and again. So hopefully you guys are getting a good angle here. But yeah, this is my favorite spot. I have a very good chair, a comfy. It's not overly comfy. I've had like lazy boy man chair type things, and I don't know that I would use that to sit and draw in, just because it is kind of rocky. You know, it rocks back and forth. This is very stationary. It has a low back, so it's not like real high. It's not like I rest my head on it or anything like that. But it does. It does give me like the rear end support that I like, because I sit here for hours on end, drawing alpha red, drawing the Bible drawings that I've been drawing. I don't know if you guys have been taking a peek at that when I give you previews at the beginning of my Sunday night draw streams. I don't think I have anything close by. Everything's up in my office. But this one's coming to an end here, guys. What do you think? This one is going out to someone who bought the other Batman, Absolute Batman, that I drew on Etsy. And they bought it last weekend, and I can't find it. So I had to use this this actual sketch cover to get her done here. Let's give it the old James Q signature here. And I think we might call her done. Maybe I'll go through any comments. But what do you think, guys? What do you think? The Comic Relief Crusaders in the house. Yo, dudes. Did you check out the Megatron, Mike? Did you check out the Megatron from Sunday? I thought for sure you'd pop in because I was drawing Megatron. But Jay Scott in the house. What's going on? What's up, James? Nice Thursday night draw stream. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You got to go back and see it there, Mike. You got to go see it. But guys, I thank you for popping in here and watching me draw this. Like usual, I'll probably noodle around with it a little bit more, and then you'll get the scan. And I might even color it. Somebody asked me if I would color it. So it's not going to take too much to color it. I mean, it's light grays here, dark grays for the metal parts, and pretty much it. But so I might do that. So, well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out on a random Thursday. So until next time, until Sunday, I think I will have time for a Sunday night draw stream. I have company here this weekend, and we have a bunch of crazy stuff going on, but we should still be able to make some time for the Sunday night draw stream. I think maybe Benny's got one or two more commissions coming, so it again will be the Brother Benny mission hour. So until Sunday, guys, thanks so much. Grace and peace. We out. No outro because it's on my phone. So we'll see if I can end it. I don't know how to end it. I think I'm gonna tap the thing over here. All right, guys. See you then.